Yo, reference getters, welcome back. Today, we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be looking back at some of my old YouTube content and discussing a lot of the issues that come when you're a beginner and some of the side effects that happen as a result when you become a more slightly progressed individual. Basically, here's the deal. I've had a lot of regrets lately with quite a handful of my videos that you are going to see on screen right now. We are going to be reacting to these videos and use them as a little bit of an outline of things to avoid, issues that I have in general with my own content because I like to be critical of myself alongside the actual games in question, and other fun shenanigans like that. Let's get this show on the road because we have 4 entire videos to sit through. Alright, so first up, I got my video on Diamond and Pearl. This one is extremely fucking rough. You are simply not ready for how rough this video is. This was my second critique I ever made, and hot damn is it the one that bothers me the most out of all of them. Like, at least when I look back at my Heart Gold Soul Silver video, right? I'm like, oh, this could make for a neat little podcast if you're just not paying attention to the audio or, like, the video at all. And you know what? Yeah, sure, maybe. This one, not so much. When I last left off on this style of content of just reviewing my own things and just giving you, like, good ideas on what to avoid, this video would actually not release yet. Or, to my knowledge, it hasn't released at that point. And after fact-checking it, no, it did not release after that point. So, this was something that came out after a video that at the time I was proud of. Even though editing now all said and done, not quite. We'll react to that video eventually. I'm saying it for a special occasion, alright? So, a lot of things that need to be taken into consideration right now. Timestamps, these are nice. Nice to have these. Background image. I don't think I could have chosen, like, a worse background image to settle with, like, for this video. Like, I just choose the Sinnoh region. Wow, how fucking useful. How great is this? This is just... ugh. Then, of course, I got this 2-screen layout. Sure, it works. It's better than what I had in the Heart Gold Soul Silver one. But with that said, let's roll on and just see what happens. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Oh, that sounds awful. What was with the voice in this? Why does it sound like that, honestly? Like, I don't recall my videos ever sounding that bad. But this one's just, ugh. So, story time about this part down here about the footage being captured on a cartridge with an official DS. So I was abusing the cute charm glitch in this save, and I just wanted everyone to know that all those shiny Pokemon I found were theoretically legitimate without action replay codes changing the game at all. That was it. I just thought it was cute. This was actually a thing I did going forward because I do find it kind of interesting when you like need to make sure it's like, yeah, dude, I am on this entry for like a game, right? Oh, if I'm playing Heart Gold and Soul Silver on emulator, for instance, the game could have some messed up parts of it because the anti-piracy problems. Same could apply to something like Emerald on emulator. So it's like kind of a neat thing to keep in mind. You don't need to do this, but I would say it would help. First mainline game. Okay, another thing to mention. I don't know why when I started this, I was just like, hey, let's just say which installment in the game this part is. I mean, I still do it sometimes, but like, it's not that important. I mean, it kind of is, but it isn't, but it's not going to make that big of a difference. Sorry, it's a minor nitpick. I still haven't gotten past this. All right, let's move on. After the release of 10 other games since... I'm sorry, that little pause there is just funny. Typically, whenever I edit these videos now, I try to get rid of as many pauses as possible, but just hearing that one, sorry, it's funny. And a remaster on the horizon. Oh no, this was pre-BDSP. This is bad. Oh god, little did I know at the time. Oh no! No! I paused this because I was like, okay, wait, maybe the timestamps will be fine, alright? I'm gonna sit here and be like, oh sure, fine, the timestamps not being here is a problem. But no, timestamps will be inked in the description. Why? Anyways, nice to see I have my like standard text color that I use in like all my videos now showing on screen. That's nice to see at least. At least something's held over from this long. So as per tradition with my... Okay, I just find this funny. You can tell beginner go crazy here. As tradition, yeah, sure, whatever. You don't need to point this out, alright? I just found it funny at the time. It's a little embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie, but who cares? I just went straight into the story. There was no transition at all. I didn't change the footage on screen. Nothing changed. That's a bad sign. But here's the problem. As we keep going through the story section, it's only going to get a whole hell of a lot worse from here. We have to start out with the story. As a quick... No, you do not have to start out with the story. Statistically speaking, starting out the story is significantly worse than if you would start out with literally anything else. Let's be real, a Pokemon game, nobody cares about the fucking story. So starting with it is always a bad call, specifically with these games especially. I mean, in the grand scheme of gaming, you probably don't want to start out with the story either, let's be real. Your rival is trying to be the best trainer. You know, that's normal. There is nothing going on here. There is nothing going on screen. This is going to be a recurring trend for like this entire story section, but it is fucking bad. Any of the main conflict of these games. So, the Team Galactic arc was kind of just poorly worded. I mean, if it wasn't my voice just being absolutely abhorrent to listen to, obviously a minor problem. The big issue is, like, I don't sound have any kind of enthusiasm at all in this. I'm pretty sure I recorded this early in the morning. It's something I actually stopped doing, I think, with the Platinum video. Could be wrong. It's something I try to avoid now because it's like, what, you would think I want to sound like I just woke up? We already got enough of that in the sequel as is. So, none of that. Bad idea. And I think I just was a little too slow with just talking about the Team Galactic story in general. Yeah, probably should summarize it a little bit better, but yeah, it is what it is. Overall, the story's okay. It justifies the game progression, but like, it's not the worst thing in the world. Oh, there is just so much wrong here, man. There is just so much wrong here. I hardly show any footage. I showed 3 different specs of footage the entire time in the story section, and then it's just like, the first part of it just came over from being a part of the introduction. Big problem. Major red flag. Don't do that. That kind of laziness is not a good sign, all right? When we get to BDSP in this discussion, things are going to get a whole hell of a lot worse. But the most important thing to take away from this is bad early content is not a good sign, especially when your track record is minuscule at best. It will not allow you to completely capitalize on everything you want to. This complex mess of a region is pretty huge. It has quite a lot to explore. You don't know how I've gotten to a point where I just start editing things, I just throw shit on screen that's like, yeah, it's somewhat relevant, sure. It probably doesn't matter that much, but you know what? It definitely helps to have on screen. No map in sight, by the way. I mean, of course, there's one in the background, but who cares about that? Last year, I did learn that Route 213 is significantly larger than it. Good old Route 213. Not a good... Oh, this whole section is just rough to sit through. This is rough. But, like, listen, I didn't even show footage of Route 213, and where you can just surf on down for where that footprint ribbon guy is. You can just surf down from his house and just discover, like, a whole extra part of the entire route. Honestly, it's kind of sick. Oh, come on. Why am I not showing this? But when you actually pay attention to the game, but when you look a little bit deeper... Oh, man, I just repeated myself, but differently. The way I should have done it. So I probably should have cut a small piece of that audio out. Lucky me. Backtrack because how the region's laid out. It becomes irritating. Okay, see? Now I get a map. And now it's not as strong. But listen, I don't have anything showing up of, hey, you gotta backtrack from here, you gotta backtrack from here. We're talking about backtracking, right? Where is any of it? But yes, that map is a mess, by the way. Or don't have a flyer to navigate faster. Oh, man, I didn't even go, like, full-blown talking into how annoying HMs are in this game. I just kind of mentioned them here. You know what? Sure, fine, whatever. HMs are really bad in this game. I made a good point, but, like, there should be something going on here. Also, subscribe, like, you see the names of the Zubat and the print flop? Y'all should consider doing that, by the way. Times, excluding the Team Galactic stuff. That stutter's funny. Excluding. Good job, buddy. Good work. Well, it'll grant fog in battle, as this weather just kills your accuracy of all attacks. Ooh, I don't know if it really should have been mentioning, like, the fog mechanic as a weather during the Sinnoh section. Like, I always do a section where I talk about, like, the region, then do the gameplay separate. I don't know why that's here. It's kind of odd. There's actually a lot of things that are just all over the place in this whole... Like, in this video especially, there are things that are all over the place. Like, I just did the gold and silver video, and that shit's like... It flows like butter, but this is just rough. But surprise, surprise! The game never mentions it to you, and it's required to advance throughout the region. Bad Game Design 101. Tell people a general idea on where you can find something important to progress in the game. Why is strength here? Yeah, you should go here, you need grind XP, what the fuck ever. Like this, you never come here. This is just garbage. And guess what? They can even trap you, making it where you need to mash the D-pad to get out. Okay, like, listen, I know I'm trying to stress out how annoying some of this stuff is right here about, like, oh, the map navigation just sucks. Dude, you don't need to go too deep into this. Like, you don't need to drastically define every little single piece of what makes this unbearable. It's fine. Listen, just don't go that deep. Just be like, oh yeah, it sucks that it traps you. Move on. On a brighter note, routes 219, 220, 221, 212, if you go Ironworks, Solaceon Ruins, there are so many locations I'm listing right now that are completely optional, by the way. That's the entire point of this listing them off. Nothing is being shown on screen. There is nothing shown on the map, just the way you're like, hey, it's all of these locations. This is not helpful. This is not helpful information in the fucking slightest. Ladies and gentlemen, if you take away anything from this video in case you want to like make your own content, do not do this. Put stuff on screen, show something else, show another thing that's helpful. This is just not good. They're all options. Oh, and now I throw everything on screen. But hey, look at this. I have the black stuff at least showing where the optional locations are, but guess what? No Wayward Cave on here. That's crazy. And then, of course, I'm throwing the post-game stuff on screen, too, which is like, does it really need to be on screen right now? Come on. I haven't even gone to any of that stuff. Oh, God. How did I make such a mistake here? The stuff in black is not post... Oh, my God. This is off. This is such a bad... Holy shit, this is shockingly bad. This is just awful. This isn't even right information. Also, the post-game and mythical areas should have been separated by different colors, by the way. Probably should have done these in, like, I don't know, red or something. My bad. Thanks to past mystery gifts, you can also go to New Moon Island. Okay, this is something I never understood why I put in here. Oh, look at all these cool locations you can go to that I can't show off because I'm playing on cartridge. Oh, wow, let's list off every location that I'm not going to show off on screen that is all event exclusive and provides pretty much nothing to the game other than a fucking legendary. It's pointless. I don't know why this is even here. Let's be real, it's filler. Is the inclusion of the honey trees. This annoying... Oh, man, why are honey trees being talked about in the Sinnoh section? This is a game mechanic, my man. More on that later. Oh, that is just awful to sit through. So I'm sitting here babbling about the honey tree, right? I don't think that the problem is like, hey, you gotta sit here and think about the time and whatnot. The thing is, if there's a little small mechanic you probably didn't notice unless you're trying to like migrate Pokemon to the Pal Park. But if you take a game of Diamond and Pearl and put it into a different DS, all of your time-based events are just shut down. They are just gone for a while. You cannot prevent the clock to make it get fixed. It is just dead. It is just not fixed. This is just a bad game mechanic in general, and it gets no mention in this entire video, by the way. Onwards to the gameplay side of things. So I just want to mention that I was just talking about the section right before the gameplay section about the double battle sections, well, the multi-battle sections where you team up with another person, right? Like, it's a decent segue, but like, that should have been where I started off the gameplay section with. Whatever. Now I have to criticize a lot. Up until Gym 2, it's fine. An issue arises when looking at important trainers afterwards. Dude, I am talking so unnecessarily slow in this. Like, honestly, if you cut out, like, a lot of this section where I'm just like... But also, if you think about it, I could probably save, like, an extra 2 minutes on this video. Minimum. This is embarrassing. Has higher levels than any of the trainers on the round. Okay, I find this funny, alright? Listen, I think there's a small chance that Cerebi might be spreading a little bit of misinformation with the encounter pools. Do whatever, say whatever, guys. Listen, I don't think it's intentional, but I did sit here repel tricking for the damn... Okay, at Victory Road, right? There's a little 55 Pelipper apparently that can spawn up there. Never saw him. Or was a little 50, something like that. Never saw the guy. The highest level Pokemon you can find here are level 55 Pelipper. Exactly what I was just saying. I don't know why I really included this in here, because other than, oh, hey, look, it's a higher level wild Pokemon than the trainers you're fighting. Wow. At least get the evidence. They're not 55. I was looking. I repel tricked. I looked. It was not 55. I never saw one. This probably should have been cut. Your rival's endgame team. I called out Bulbapedia too. Nice. Also, Gameway spelled Pelipper wrong. Rival's endgame team. Look how fast this text goes away. That is a lot of text that just goes away just like that. Big problem. If you got larger text, this is something I've always had a little bit of problems balancing. Sometimes it's like intentionally a lot of text that you get rid of. That's... No, it should have been there longer. Instead, you have a 5% chance for Wild Chansey to hold it. Okay, so this is a fun little thing, right? In modern videos, I would have just zoomed the fuck in on, like, the gameplay and just been like, yeah, slide the Chansey over from where it is now. Or just keep it where it is and just, you haven't zoomed in, you know? That's how, like, there's a little bit of, like, I'm just being like, dude, like, on God, like, if, this is just how it is, alright? This is how it should have been. Do this, do that, whatever, right? I'm putting an emphasis on it by getting closer to the mic, right? That's the point here. Should have had a little bit of a zoom in effect. Should have had something to show emphasis. That's what's lacking here. During the main story, Chansey only spawns in 2 routes. Okay, this is just kind of pointless. This is just me nitpicking about the EXP system. Again, the EXP system sucks. Oh, hey, look, I can't get the lucky egg because it's so rare. Ugh, boo-hoo, dude. Get over it. Again, this is this is me explaining the physical special split when I definitely should have been explaining it myself. Let's be real. This is one of those cases of, hey, I recorded the audio. I probably should have actually re-recorded the audio to just say this on screen. This is just laziness, not recording the audio here. The Safari Zone, it's back. And there's a step counter. Oh no, this section sucks. Oh, the Safari Zone returns. There's a step counter. There's no step count. Also, by the way, this is a clip I very specifically chose to include here. This was a little screenshot where I put the Pokemon running away. It's funny, all right? There's another case of I probably should have re-recorded the audio. I should have had the failed take and then just did another take and just get rid of the shit one. Why is that not the case here? Transfer out Pokemon from the GBA games, also transferring their held items. However, I mentioned this in the Heart Gold Soul Silver. I don't know what just happened there, what that scratching sound was. What was that? Also transferring their held items. However, you can hear me turn my face away from the camera. You can tell that, like, I'm not speaking into the mic immediately right now. It's just like, oh yeah, dude, I'm having a great time. Yeah, definitely just keep holding your head forward. There's an issue, like, I had my gold and silver video recently where I just was like holding my water bottle and just like made a random noise with it, and I'm just like, yeah, maybe I should re-record the audio. Pretty important. I mentioned this in the Heart Gold Soul Silver critique, but in these games, you can only do a single group of 6 Pokemon per 24 hours. Roaming Pokemon also make a reappearance. Just the sheer lack of transition between me talking about the Heart Gold Soul Silver video and, oh boy, this mechanic, oh no. Oh, and roaming Pokemon, right? Not on screen at all. Being Cresselia, and there they are. Again, where's Mesprit being released from its cave? Why is that not showing up on screen at minimum? Oh, this party and their HP. This is great. You knew that I had a field day after the Heart Gold Soul Silver video. I was just sitting here like, yes, Johto sucks. Listen, after playing through Gold and Silver again, this hits a different way. This is funny. Probably should have had like all the little things I'm talking about up here when they happen on screen, but like, whatever. This is funny. What a pointless addition. Okay, it's neat that I mentioned something small like this, because this is what I try to do a lot of in the Gold and Silver video. But like, look at that, man. You got the one gender, you got the other one. That's neat. Look at me actually putting something useful on screen. Now imagine if I actually specified which gender was which. The regional Pokédex. Out of the 22 Generation 4 Pokemon evolutions. Nice stutter. First off, the fact that I'm not showing any Pokédex footage on screen is a sin. You know, like, that's just easy free footage to get on there. Like, oh, it's just scrolling through the decks. That is free footage that can just be on screen. But somebody got too lazy to check it, despite the fact he had to get every single thing for the Sinnoh Pokédex to appear on screen before even playing the post-game. Probably should have just showed the Pokemon on screen. Let's be real. It's a little more annoying when you just have to be like, oh, hey, it's these guys are in, but just show pictures of them, please. What, are you curious on the water types, guys? Good news. I got the comparison for you right now. There are 17 water types. Okay, so I just in this section showed 2 fire types, the 2 in the game. You know, I had pictures of Infernape and Rapidash. The 2 pictures of the ice types, Abomasnow, Weavile. 17 water types. I want to make this abundantly clear right now. On screen, I'm going to be editing an image of all 17 water types on screen because I have that saved on here since I talk about the water type selection in this game so fucking much. Like, I have that saved on here now. I should have just put them all on one screen in Paint and just saved it, slapped it on here, and it would have worked way better. This is just not okay. See if you can spot a typo in this anywhere. Surprise, it's Pelipper. Because I haven't even mentioned how they tried to give us a fire type Elite Four member in a region with only 2 fire types. And yes, out of his team of 5, he does have the only 2 fire types, meaning half of his team isn't even fire. Listen, I know that I'm proving a point here, but like, if you're gonna prove a point, say it faster, man. Just be a little bit faster with this. Good lord. Stop. For whatever reason, in the northern section of the wildfire types that aren't ponytail. Hold on. For whatever reason. Audio, what happened there? Where was the what? It just said forever reason. Excuse me? For whatever reasons, what I was trying to say there. Come on. Double take. Get proper English out. Where are you at? Spawn anywhere up to their early 50s. Hey, there we go. Information that's helpful. Yes. Proving the point. Look at that Rattata and Skuntank levels. Look at that. It looks great. Thank you for showing something of value on the screen. But the issue here is, these Pokemon can only be obtained. This trio can only be obtained via either... These Pokemon can only be obtained. This trio can only be obtained. Pick one, my man. It's not that hard. You can only get those 3 in Platinum via an event. Good point. Whatever. Ice Puzzle's bad. Irrelevant. Skill issue. Get over it. I've had to do this ice puzzle so many times just trying to shiny hunt this damn Regigigas, alright? Listen. Get over it. Means, in short, you're gonna need 2 Nintendo. Now, funny how I just mentioned the Underground. What a great time to segue into our features and postgame section. The fact that I'm just trying to be so smug about making a halfway decent segue. Disgusting. Traps are also here. Basically, there is no trap footage on screen right now. At no point do I get flung by a trap. This is a sin. Where? Why? Just help. You talk to you can steal your friend's flags. Ah, yes, dude. You did a great job at showing him actually get hit by a trap. That now you're saying, hey, look, you know, I would totally show capture the flag footage here. Totally, man. At this point, just boot up Halo 3, go play online, and bullshit something, dude. It's not that hard. Got the Battle Tower, which honestly, there's just not much to talk about. It's just the normal 7-in-a-row battle challenge you're used to. But now we got better game mechanics. So, just want to point this out now. The fact that this is actually the first time I think I talked about the Battle Tower, because I don't think I recall talking about it in Heart Gold Soul Silver, could be wrong. The fact that it is like the first or the second time and I had nothing to say about it is just a sin in the feature itself. There's nothing to talk about with the fucking Battle Tower. Similar to the games that came before it, you can actually buy coins, Heart Gold Soul Silver, similar to I'm looking at. Even in the second video, I was throwing shade at Heart Gold and Soul Silver for not allowing you to buy coins at the game corner in the English copies. Oh, I never changed. This is great. Bringing us Pokemon following you. Oh, it's so bad. There's a reason I didn't even mention this in Gold and Silver. It's such a shit tier mechanic that added nothing to the game. The fact that it got removed meant nothing. If I were to redo this video, I'd be like, Pokemon follow you, moving on. Now, this feature provides nearly any practical use, other than farming some rare berries and some dress-up accessories. Wait, the contest thing? What a great transition! That is a horrible transition. Oh my lord, there was nothing going on there. So, like, in the footage that I had for the Midi Square, I just ran in, I grabbed, like, what was that, the amulet coin, and just ran out. I did not have shit for footage, so there's just a random shot of me accessing the Pokedex there. Real helpful information, buddy. The competitive double battles. Oh, no. Dude, I was playing on a fucking DS. Listen, I don't think you seem to understand. I have a copy of Heart Gold and Diamond. That's all I have for Gen 4. DS? DSi? Not DS. That's a fucking 2DS. A 3DS? Oh, my lord. And of course, the damn DS I used to capture the footage. Why didn't I just use that for the footage, man? It's not that hard. Was a thing first started in these. Okay, one minor thing that bothers me. It doesn't matter which game I'm talking about. Online is just annoying to speak about when you just can't get footage on it because it's either dead or you're on emulator. Oh, fun. I can't wait for Gen 6 and 7. Another weird hardware thing is, like, if you find 2 shiny Pokemon in the wild at once. This is the clip I was talking about. 2 shiny Pokemon. When you're exploring with a companion, the game will just freeze. Like, I didn't even know that before getting the gameplay. And it froze. One of the shiny sparkles didn't go off. That's untouched footage. I was streaming this live on Twitch, and this happened. I got a little mad when I had to repeat the entirety of Eterna Forest, but it was funny, alright? Seeing this was funny, and I was just like, You know what? Maybe if I mention this, that'd be a fun and great idea. But it's a problem because I did not natively find it without glitching. So when I'm sitting here saying that, oh, the game could crash from finding 2 shinies at once, and I don't have the actual footage of me not glitching for it, minor problem, let's be honest. All I say about music, by the way, it just did not hold up too well. Oh boy, this is all I put here, and you know what? Fair. Nice capital L in Elite Four. I do believe these games could make a score of 4 out of 10 had Platinum not have existed. Okay, this is an issue I had with the early scorings. Hey, if Platinum didn't exist, this could have been a 4 out of 10. No. But that would imply that it's on par with Red and Blue. If there's like any issue I had with early scoring, it's specifically with Diamond and Pearl, Red and Blue, and then BDSP and Legends Arceus. I mean, Legends Arceus is still more recent, but besides the point. The fact that I considered another game instead of taking the game on its own terms is definitely an issue here. Do that. I don't know, I say don't do that. Like, everyone has their own reviews how they do what they will, right? The fact that I did it like that, though, and then just halfway through the series, just like, oh, hey, look, I want to start grading games on their own, dude. Problematic. Again, this was early. I didn't realize how tilted my scale was going to be. I was like, hey, Diamond and Pearl are shit. 1 point out of 10. But hey, guess what? And then it's like, after the fact, I make that one Q&A video, and I'm like, oh, hey, by the way, I do it like this. I just have these 5 tier names, and it's just like, oh, so it's weighted, so the really bad shit's at the bottom, and then you have, like, that lacking tier, it's like a purgatory for good and bad. And then there's 3 good tiers. The score does not hit the same. Like, this would have implied Heart Gold, Soul Silver were bad, had I not changed it, and Diamond and Pearl would have been, like, downright comparable to Sonic 06. Bad. Bad. At least that part held true in the future. Oh, seeing such a barren tier list is just nostalgic. This is great. Luckily, that's all we have to talk about with Diamond and Pearl, I think. Like, seriously, dude, just go play Platinum. Okay, yeah, that's about it. Nice to see the sequel being plugged on here for some reason. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, now that we're done with Diamond and Pearl, you know what it's time for? Platinum. So, Platinum gets a little more interesting. I chose a unique background image. Everybody knows what that image is, right? You got the Giratina, the Algapalkia. Oh my god. You know, it's neat, right? There's a more interesting background image going on here. This video was a lot more rushed than the other ones were, and it shows a bit in some areas. That's like all I really remember. This released on Halloween. I'm like, hey, Halloween special. Fuck yeah. Also, the lack of, hey, this was recorded on DS. This wasn't even on DS, by the way. This was emulator. You could not tell a difference, but this was emulated. It's not to be considered bad or unnecessary. Similar questions were asked for the 3 games that served the same role. Oh no. So far, this intro's been great, by the way. I just want to point that out right now. This intro has been phenomenal. At least compared to everything before. But Crystal, oh my fucking lord, dude. I'm about to have to do that video and just, oh my lord, there is nothing to that game. There is just nothing to talk about. Oh no. And for that reason, it would be heavily recommended for you to have watched my previous video. Don't. Listen, there's a reason 4 weeks ago, before this went up, it had 32 views. Because it was not worth watching. It was a bad video. Okay, let's move on. Nice use of the iCard. I think I've only used it once since this video, I think. Was that in Sword and Shield or BDSP? Good job. I will be breaking this critique into 4 parts. The minor story changes, improvements over Diamond and Pearl in terms of general gameplay, improvements over Diamond and Pearl in terms of the game flow, post-game, and region. And I do like how I'm listing all this stuff, but I'm not listing it on screen as important information beats to be talking about. Again, now I do it. It's great. It's awesome. Kind of annoying not seeing it here. And finally, the 4th one will be in regards of the things Platinum did wrong. The timestamps are on. Hey, timestamps! Let's fucking go. Yeah, you know what? This is pretty good. Honestly, this scene right here is pretty good. Like, there's a much larger step up in quality. Like, the gameplay's been showing. There's been a lot of things going positive here. Everything has been good so far. Like, the amount of difference that was learned, way better. Ooh, part 1 on the same line as the text. That looks awful. It's the reason I stopped doing that. Good God. I think I did it like literally a video immediately after this one. This just bothers me that I still don't have a screen for this background. I need to, like, get an art piece commissioned for, like, Crisis City from Sonic 06. Just have it on the screen. Good lord, it needs something in the background. I just want something that can just stay and always be there for every video I do. That's why I want that one example. Sorry, that's something that's been bothering me even to this day, but come on now. In terms of Team Galactic, there are a couple more scenes where you encounter Cyrus in an effort to flesh... Okay, again, I'm opening with the story. Should not be doing that. Also, I just want to point out that this idiot has left his mouse on screen the entire time when recording this part of the game. Moving on, is irrelevant in the post game. Regardless, this game just does so much of a better job at what becomes irrelevant in the post game. What is this? Why is there just a blank? There is nothing right here. How did I not notice this? Everything's been good so far except this random nothing. But yeah, okay, so while I'm here, I might as well talk about Diamond and Pearl again real quick. There's a reason, like, I am going to absolutely definitively remake that video. Same for Heart Gold Soul Silver. But specifically here, Platinum, I don't know if I want to, because, like, it's solid overall. And we're going to see that a lot in this video, but it might not even happen. That he's basically given up on your world, and he's going to stay in the distortion world to find out the world's secrets so he can make his own world finally. The amount of times I said world there kind of bothers me a lot, considering all the talking I did earlier in the first video about how my voice just sounds awful. Listen, I didn't know what they were nitpicking about in that, like, in the comment section. I don't know which video it was. It might have been Diamond and Pearl. I don't know which one it was. But I saw some people nitpicking about my voice, and I definitely see it now on rewatch. Good lord. Let to sink to the seafloor. Okay, so we're going to see that again at the that footage in the outro. So this is something that kind of bothers me just a tad bit here. But, you know what? Okay, so I just want to go ahead and tell the story now before we get to, like, the Legends Arceus video, because, like, it's a different video entirely. In these first critiques I did, I don't know if this holds true for BDSP. I think it might. But, like, when I would record them in the editing software, I would have every single video piece just at the end, just, oh, yep, they're at the end, way off in the middle of fucking nowhere. It was a little bit problematic, but it's like, hey, I could pick and choose the pieces of footage I want to use and not use. This is something that kind of bothers me because I can't do that anymore. Since I've, like, broken my pieces up and, like, yada yada. Oh, editing part 1. That's it. It's just part 1. Nothing else. Part 2. Everything else is gone. So, like, this is just a neat little thing I noticed. But, like, ever since the Legends Arceus video, things have gotten a lot harder in that regard. Because, like, I couldn't keep everything at the end. So you see a lot less repeated footage in these older videos. But that right there is the one piece that sticks out to me. Again, this is something I realized a lot in Gold and Silver. That it was actually hard for me to, like, not repeat footage. But, you know, that's just what it is. It is what it is. If there was any section in which we should begin the gameplay improvement highlights on, it is definitely the gym leaders. So, to begin... Yeah, I mean, I don't really see much of a way to argue against that. The level curve and just the gym leader quality in general kind of sucked. Either one of those would be a great place to start for replayability improvements. But, like, Platinum didn't massively overhaul the game and how it functioned. So, you know what? I'm right on that one. It's definitely... Well, past me anyways. Sorry. Again, very specific, but you know what? He had a good point. Since honestly, her team composition is built on a little more than just the typing alone. So beginning with her Pokemon, they took the snow. Oh my god, that just takes up so much footage on the screen. But yeah, okay. So I feel like I went a little too far with like even like I cut this part down a bit before actually settling on what I did. This was supposed to be a longer section entirely, but like this one battle is definitely what they should have done more of. But come on, man. The fact this is a 1 in 8 thing where it's like, oh, hey, it's the typing gets better, like the team quality is overall much better, and abilities have a huge, like they changed the battle immensely. I don't know if I should have used Candace's team for the example, because it excels more than what the other teams did, if you can see what I'm getting at here. Vulcaner and Flint actually have teams of their specialty typing this time around, even if Flint's team is literally every fire-type evolution line in the region. And speaking of 2 more fire types, I suppose we can speak... Speaking of 2 more fire types, edits 3 on screen, I probably should have just in this section edited at least showing what Flint's new team looked like. Because it's like, the before and after is a huge difference. It is just, it's mind-blowing how different it is. And yeah, this is how you can tell this is on emulator, by the way. I definitely would not have had a level 91 Torterra, because Game Freak is scummy. Other highlights involve 3 additional fire types. Be like, here's the new one, so like, this isn't Flint's team. It's like, it's just it's a little bit off. Like, I know it's still talking about like the typings in general, it's like not the same conversation. but like, it makes a big difference. Also, extremely based having Pelipper in the footage here. Very hype. This isn't a fixed Pokédex. It is an okay remedy to... First off, true. Second off, I just want to point out the action replay code I use to get everything in the Pokédex, so I didn't have to worry about encountering every single thing in the game. I was just like... insane. I can't snap my fingers. Don't make fun of me, alright? 210 Pokemon is still not enough, but it is a good start for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl to build upon. Oh no, dude. BDSP had less Mons in it than Platinum for main game. Oh no. Dude, that was just wishful thinking. Again. Alright, listen, we can sit here and just be like, yeah, you know what? Platinum definitely could have had more, but the remakes would be better, right? Everybody's like in fear of Gen 5 remakes, and honestly, I agree. Like, if you're gonna add new Pokemon, right, you're just gonna break what made Gen 5 work. Other than what? Add Galarian Darmanitan? Okay. An interesting thing, where they actually changed the Shiny Sparkle mid-generation. Okay, listen, I know I talk about extremely niche stuff more recently, but come on, this is so niche. Why am I talking about the damn Shiny Sparkle having two less sparkles on it? Legitimately, why is this even in the discussion? This feels so irrelevant. Also, the fact that I did 2 different scenes of footage for the gameplay here. Revolutionary at the time. Wow, dude. An Emerald. Okay, so you see that, right? Round 2 from Fire. You see that, right? Okay, I'm like, hey, Emerald. Whole screen. This is not the only time I forget to shrink Emerald and put it on the top right, by the way. I want to make that abundantly clear right now. This is not the only time. So, you know, I missed like 2 parts of the editing, alright? You know what? For what I did put in, I made 2 mistakes. Sometimes we make mistakes. You know what? I'll just take what we got here. Again, on the weekends, but as you do more battles, apparently against the Elite Four. Okay. So I did some research for this one. Because I didn't quite know how that worked at first either. I had to be very specific with how I worded that, because I didn't know how that worked. I didn't play Platinum for years and years. I didn't really have it growing up, alright? So when I'm like, oh, hey, apparently, you know, you probably could have left that part up and just be like, hey, his team will eventually progress when you battle the Elite Four, apparently. It works better, just wording it like that. According to sources that will remain anonymous. Never had a chance to confirm it. Ugh, funny. It's a Battle Frontier from Pokemon Emerald, but not really. This is what I was talking about, right? I shrunk it down a bit, but it's not in the corner. Also, I grayscaled this instead of made it opaque. My bad. I should have just gone to paint and took 50% of it off. You know what? Fine, sure, whatever. Let's just green screen it. However, I'll only be talking about the new 3 here. Good choice. You probably should have just mentioned the Battle Factory at least, because it wasn't in Diamond and Pearl prior. I mean, nobody wants to hear me talk about the fucking Battle Tower again, I'll be honest. Probably should have mentioned them both, let's be real. But you know what? Good call. I did go off and be like, hey, this is also in Platinum and the Emerald video for the Battle Factory, man. Woo! And finally, to cut off the battle-oriented changes is a minor change. Yep, minor change indeed. I don't know why I specifically needed to point out, hey, Hypnosis got a 10 accuracy nerf. Extremely small, extremely unnoticeable because the attack sucks in general, but like, come on, you don't have to include it. Yep, there's my first problem here. Part 3 has a line below it. Thrilling. In terms of new locations, we only got one, being the Distortion World. While there are no encounters excluding Giratina here, it's a place nonetheless. And adding on to the main story locations, I just want to say, the speed I'm talking at in this video, impressive. Compared to the last one, you would have expected it to be like extremely slow and bad. But this, honestly, it sounds pretty damn nice, just hearing how fast I'm talking in it. Again, the fact I was talking so slowly in those first 2 is just, ugh. Like, that's not even like, oh, I talk fast normally, right? No, that's I talk through it all, and then I have to edit the audio, and then I don't make the audio sections between text shorter. Well, my words. That's my first problem. I should have been removing some of that filler out. And in terms of gift Pokemon, a Porygon was also added to... Apparently I forgot to move Porygon too. Oh, wow, that is thrilling. Yeah, guys, you should probably double check your video sometimes. This is actually the perk of, like, not doing the entire video on one bar, but instead breaking it into multiple pieces and then adding them that way. Because that way you can, it's easier to, like, resit through it one section before putting it into, like, the whole video. Because, like, what would you rather do? Watch back the entire 20-minute video or watch back through, like, a 4-minute section, right? It's a lot easier to notice your mistakes when you actually do that. Again, something I noticed a lot when I was editing Gold and Silver recently. Or even scouring the entire region to find the one random trainer with a Porygon 2. It is only pain. Oh, fun. Listen, it is super frustrating when it's like this one little thing that it's just gonna haunt you every single time you come back to the game. It is just bothersome. Listen, this needs to be here. It needs to be said. Screw Porygon 2 for this. The issue with this entire mechanic in general, the Pokedex, right? Hey, go find everything. Hey, let's shove a specific Pokemon on one trainer in the middle of fucking nowhere and see if somebody finds it. Amazing. We finished this. Oh boy, I do not throw that thing up on screen much. Oh man. So far, overall, the video was fucking solid all the way through. I'm not gonna lie. With a few nitpicky things, you know what? It's a lot more digestible than what the last two were. Holy fucking shit, dude. The editing on this is so much better. And again, I just want to point this out now. I don't swear much in the main channel videos. I just don't find much of a point if it's going to potentially demonetize the content. Or make it harder to see in the algorithm. Who knows? Like, I'm not afraid to. It's just that I just don't by choice. Despite doing that all the time on streams and, of course, here, obviously. Is a 7 out of 10. Wait, I only did a 7 on this? I thought the score was higher, I'm not gonna lie. I was actually kind of worried with how I scored the other games. I thought this was like a 7.5 or some shit on a great poke. Okay, well, this is one of the games I feel like I scored a wee bit too high. But you know what? That gives me more room to work with the Sun and Moon video. I feel like it's a little high here, but it's better. It's nice. Come on, game. So, if you're sticking around... Ah, yes, the good old post-credit sequence, the outro, but like after the video actually matters. Fun. I need to confess something I actually did in BDSP as well, if I recall correctly. Had a section like this, use the credits. You know what? Not a bad choice. I initially wanted to add a 5th section to this video. Oh no! Adding in more stuff I might have forgotten. Oh fuck, this is where I'm like, hey, I'm gonna make a video at some point when I'm done with all the DS games. Well, I want to go back and correct everything I did wrong. Yeah, I'm, well, did wrong, got wrong, forgot to mention. Oh boy, that list is still growing, by the way, but like, I definitely spread a little bit of misinformation. I was gonna do 2 videos, right? One after the DS games were done, cover everything up to that point. So it would have been like Red and Blue, PLA, all the Switch games, and the DS games, right? But then everything afterwards, Yellow, GBA, GBC, and then the 3DS games. Oh man, it just... I'm obviously going to do them all in the main channel still. They're going to be one big video. Man, I spread a little bit of misinformation on that. I feel a little scummy for that, not going to lie. Maybe it was for the best that I just did not do this. But then I realized with the future games, there will probably be more stuff to add, like this video here. Yes, when I purposely forgot to include the PC improvements in Gold and Silver. How thrilling. I definitely did not plan on just throwing that in that video because, let's be honest, there was nowhere to put it that wouldn't have broken up the flow of that entire video. You know, not like I wanted to go off and catch 20 Pokemon for the fucking game anyways, just for one piece of recording. Just like that, I bid you farewell. I'm sorry, I just find that funny. Just seeing the Giratina up here. Overall, much better improvement. Like, y'all can see if y'all watch, like, the videos through all the way, it's a lot better. Overall. Holy shit, man. That quality got much, much better. One video to another, not a bad way to improve it that much. But oh fuck, Sword and Shield, this is a 30-minute long video. Help me right now. Yes, I started the video with a blur effect, right. That's how you know I went a little more overboard with this. Also, I love people who are like, oh, dude, this game's not underrated. What the fuck are you on about? You're right, it's overhated. My bad. I chose the wrong term, but this one's better for the algorithm. And you know what? It's also still true because the game has a lot more positives going for it. And it's actually not that bad. Insane. Anyways, this video is where a lot more of my stuff started coming in. Like, the transitions when text starts appearing on screen, just chef's kiss on that, alright? For that title, based on Pokemon designs. Sun and Moon and the old Again, my voice still sounds a little dead for some reason. I don't know what it is. Also, the Gen 7 games are fucking phenomenal. You guys are on a copium if you think, oh, I gotta mash the A button a little too much. Oh man, this is just a personal problem. You're sitting here begging for Persona 5 on Switch, which is finally happening, but yet you're not gonna fucking play it all the way through because you gotta mash the A button. Good job, buddy. However, this critique, I like the footage going on here, but I'm gonna say this now. I might actually do more videos like that I didn't initially plan on before. Like, I might actually have to revisit Platinum, Sword and Shield, and whatnot, just because the voice it's just not good to listen to. Okay, also, fun facts for this whole video. Some little behind-the-scene things. Thumbnail, I came up with that, like, a month or two in advance. Like, before I even started anything. Before Platinum came into the equation, I was already kind of working on this video, like, beforehand. So the story section was actually written before Diamond and Pearl was even a thought, which was sick. Also, Peak isn't awesome, since this is apparently the complete game. Oh yes, the DLC. This is why I kind of hope other games don't have DLC, because like, do I need to make a video in advance just before they patch the thing in, and then I need to make some kind of follow-up? Like, a part of me still feels like I need to make a follow-up to BDSP because they actually added Wonder Trade and all this other nonsense. And then PLA's like, oh, hey, look, expansion, wow. Unless they patch some random stuff in during the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl life cycle. Look at that! Transitions! Also, wow, that went away pretty quickly. Insane. We'll be seeing how overlooked these games actually were. And nobody listened to that because they started complaining nonstop. These games were incredibly overlooked. Also, this man's got a fucking penis hairline, but alright. Your timestamps are on. Yeah, background could have been a little darker. You know, I didn't settle on that because, like, I think my decision here really just came down to, hey, look at this. It's one solid background image instead of, oh, hey, look, game, background image. It's a lot easier to look at, but like, it definitely should have been there. Do you see any typos? I know there's a typo in this video somewhere, that's one thing I do know. So, unlike how I would typically structure these videos, this time around we'll be covering the story overview at the end. Good fucking choice. Never talk about the story first. Nobody will care. Also, that Zamazenta animation is the greatest thing ever. That's the perfect way to open a video. You're gonna talk about how underrated the game is, and just throw the thing people like to look at the most about bad, like, visuals and whatnot. Just throw that in the beginning just to spite people. Okay. Towns are on a basis of everything needs to be important, therefore every town needs to be of importance. Cutting. Oh my god, that text went away so fast. I didn't even get a chance to read what that said. But listen. That's a minor problem that some games have. Again, Gold and Silver has that problem too, but I never mentioned it in that one because, oh boy, Kanto, fuck off to the series. Although it's quite limited as the first attempt at it, but one thing I am noticing right now, the game, like the music in the background just seems a little louder than everything else so far. This is something I've been worried about a lot recently because I made a video called The Future of the Channel or whatever at a certain point. Well, I was like, hey, I really enjoyed the Heart Gold Soul Silver video. I want to do more of this. And apparently I had a bit of an audio balancing issue then. It's like, I wanted the music to be audible, right? But like, a little too loud. A little bit worrisome. This is something that still bothers me in every video I do, by the way. So I'm always just settling for, hey, I'd rather it be like not noticeable at all rather than extremely noticeable. Because it does take away a bit from what's being said. It was supposed to be this big grand... Oh... There definitely should have been a cut to something else in the wild area. I know this is like one of the 2 times I went to the wild area in the entire recording, but come on, you could have gone back for slightly more footage. Is the weather, which is tragic. While it works for gameplay purposes, just simply going between the named locations is super... Also, I did a phenomenal job right here of being like, showcasing the weather just in action. Phenomenal work with this. I just want to point that out right now. Just... chef's kiss again. But there are other areas in the game that fulfill that visually pleasing role. Listen, I know Spikemuth looks a lot better, but like, does it really? At least the game doesn't look as bad as Fire Emblem Three Houses. That might be my favorite game ever, but for fuck's sake, it looks like dog water. Come on, people gotta give the visuals for this game some slack when Three Houses is right there. While being the objectively most lame and unoriginal gimmick of the three, I have to say at least, it's more balanced than Mega Evolution, since this one at least allows any Pokemon to be broken for three. Oh, that line right there. More balanced than Mega Evolution. I got a lot of shit for that in the comments. Oh, y'all better already know that was fucking had. So the thing I want to say right now is, it technically is. Because if you've ever played doubles, it is more balanced than Mega Evolution. But in singles, absolutely the fuck not. Also, I just mentioned in distribution. I want to point that out right now. Returns rather than potential. Because that's the issue with what Mega Evolution and Z-moves have. Z-moves have the issue of just being this one little thing that just comes in and just nukes something for no reason. Dynamax is stronger, sure, but it doesn't instantly kill a Pokemon. Mega Evolution's just like, hey, I'm gonna go play the entire fucking game now, have fun. And then, you know, like Metachan, which is more powerful than a fucking Dynamax Mon or a Z-move. But you know what? No, they like the gimmick. Let's just ignore the problems with it and pretend everything else is bad because I don't like it. Also, changing all your Pokemon's attacks to be some very unbalanced stuff that could potentially set off weather or give stat boosts. Yes, talks about balancing, then proceeds to call it unbalanced. Oh, fun. You knew that I knew Max Airstream was right there. You knew that I knew that, whatever the water move was called, all of that nonsense. I need to put more references in this stuff, dude. Obviously, this is like a reference to the first Halo game. It's literally part of the fucking title. But like, I need to do a little more references. It's cheeky, it's cute. The fact I'm not referencing enough as reference getter is a bit of a sin, on God. The base game brought us 80 new Pokemon, and a handful of regional variants. And also similarly to X and Y, these games only brought us... Kind of find it a little wacky there that I didn't show, like, anything, like, from the Pokedex of, like, hey, look, new Mon, or new form. Probably should have done, like, I don't know, Mr. Rhyme on screen, an Appleton. Just a little bit of something says like, yeah, here's a point. Yeah, totally. Plus 3 new legendary. But again, this still looks a lot better than everything else. Again, being on the Switch helps a lot because there's a lot of empty space that's just not here. Okay, I just love that footage right here because buffs and nerfs for in-battle use as well. I just love that. You see a Mon spawn in. You can't really get a good look at it, but since I'm talking about Storm Drain, I'm like, hey, water type boost, okay? And then a Noibat just spawns in. Good job. Great job cutting it right there. The bike, as I mentioned earlier, now features a boost mechanic that can be further improved. Dude, I was talking about the bike and praise. I forgot how bad that thing is when you're trying to like do Masuda method for like a shiny Pokemon. And then that bike just does not fucking turn, or it turns real good instead of being completely horrible or mid. Like, it's so inconsistent when you're controlling it. It's like genuinely concerning. And I don't know how I got through this video without mentioning it. Like, that was not intentional to hide that information. I just forgot. Even more, after progressing through the story, you're kind of find it dumb there I didn't just, like, cut out parts of that loading screen. Kind of dumb I didn't cut it out just to be like, hey, speed up the loading screen. I know I've been doing that a lot lately. Don't know why it's not present here. Like, the game introduced a title system, and I don't think the mark system needed to be mentioned here, though. Like, it's really early in the video. 6 minutes in and you're mentioning something super fucking niche like this. Seems a little odd to have up here when it doesn't really affect the gameplay. And I didn't even really do a good job at specifying, oh, hey, regular Pokemon can have this too. I only showcased it on Shinies. And I was like Shinies, so they might think it's only on those. A bit of a misplay on my part, but yeah, you do you. Or even a Pokemon with the Prankster ability, clicking Tailwind. Oh my god, that was gone fast. Listen, the entire argument about this going on here is big. It's pretty neat to talk about because like Gen 8's battle mechanics are so fucking good when Dynamax is gone. But with it, it definitely brings it down a bit. But like, do you see how good the battle mechanics are within Pokemon Sword and Shield when it's just absent? Just like all this improvements. Oh, fun. This is me just proving the entire point. Like, I'm talking, hey, Prankster this, but Archeops is already faster. But, like, and then Avalugg still after the Tailwind doesn't even outspeed anything. This was just me finding something close enough, but, like, it doesn't even work. It does not work as an example. And I'm telling you exactly why on the screen, why it doesn't work as an example. Sure, it is always better to allow people to enable and disable stuff. Okay, though, straight up, though, audio definitely got some balancing problems. That music sounds a little loud. compared to the voice in question. Bit of a problem. Glad this is way less of a problem nowadays. However, they also allowed you to cap off Pokemon's EVs with the vitamin items instead of capping at 100 EVs per stat. Again, probably should have been showing some of these stats, like, oh yeah, you can cap them. Where are the screenshots of you capping them? Also, base Pelipper on screen. To access your PC from anywhere that isn't a gym also returns. Even furthermore, okay, I find this a little funny to mention, because like I recorded this video before the Let's Go one, obviously. But when I did the Let's Go video, I learned that you can access your PC during the Elite Four. I was just like, oh hey look, I just beat Lance, I can just change my entire team right now. That's a problem. It's actually possible to skip these games' catching tutorial, all of which, or I don't know why I didn't mention this in BDSP, because like I tested to make sure that you can skip the catching tutorial, like how I tested in BDSP as well about skipping the, doing the 3rd and 4th gyms out of order. I didn't mention either of those in there. Kind of odd to mention this now in Sword and Shield, but like, seeing the catching tutorial get skipped like this from catching something in advance, it makes me annoyed that this is what I already, like when we talk about BDSP later, that's what my BDSP video is always going to be. I can never take that back. It is always going to be like that unless I did a brand new one. The elephant in the room is the cut 200. Oh my god, dude. If I redid this video, I would straight up just push this off as not a problem, honestly. People overreacted about how much this hurt the game. And you know how much it hurt the game? 0. It did nothing to hurt the game at all. In fact, it was arguably better because it removed filler content. Pokemon you are never going to use. Yeah, man, I'm about to whip out here with the fucking Silcoon and the fucking... Where is he? Where is it? The unknown... Where? Oh yeah, Corso's in the fucking game, right? You get the point. Like, again, it would have been great if they were all there, but like, it didn't really harm the game's quality. It's just like, oh, it sucks they're not here. That's about it. Also, I just love this image was found on Reddit part. Sorry, I just find that funny. Yes, I did find it on Reddit. How could you tell? It is still a net positive for moving Megas and Z moves. I will die on that hill. Especially with the competitive singles in mind, because now knockoff, especially with competitive singles in mind, shut the fuck up. I didn't realize how overbearing Weavile was gonna be in OU. I didn't realize that. Dynamax got banned. It was awful. Isn't just cock blocked by Z crystals or Mega Stones. Also similar to Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. And listen, I sit here, I'm using the knockoff example. My brother in Christ, you have Dynamax, alright? Listen, I didn't think about this until after the fact, but I made a one-hit KO team for one of the VGC seasons with Dynamax, right? But like, the one restricted, yeah, that, sure. But like, I was using that and I'm like, oh wait, I forgot entire attacks just don't work on Dynamax mods. Oops. Yeah, you know what? Minor problem. Actually, that's a major fucking issue on the system. Also, guys, play Fire Emblem Three Houses while you're at it. You are greeted with the ability to capture nearly the entire Pokédex. Oh, wow, you gotta use someone else for that. My brother in Christ, online play is extremely accessible in this game. Or, you know what? Oh, hey, look, I'm just gonna whip up the fucking Dynamax den and go get a Dreepy real quick. Dude, it is so fucking nice how many mons you can get before even reaching the first gym. It is disgusting how many mons you can get. But nah, that's a fucking communications feature. I'm just going to ignore the positives. Just like how I'm going to ignore the flaws of the Legend of Zelda timeline. And how it doesn't make sense that 3 timelines merge into Breath of the Wild. It does not make sense. Because Wonder Trading is still... yes, talking about Wonder Trade. And you just see one of those sites. And I mentioned this earlier when I had Regieleki on screen in the DLC. No, Regidrago. It's just like, bro, at least, like, we have this kind of cringe when it comes to online trading. Because if y'all look back at Gen 7, for instance, and Gen 6, and if you go to those GTSs, you cannot trade anything. The GTS is literally fucked in those games. While you're at it, don't use this scam website that Regidrago came from. Again, this footage specifically is pretty important because I didn't know, but I didn't try to check either to see if you could just lose this fight and go explore the DLC. I want to mention this later about the, oh, hey, you can catch a Dynamax Denmon and how it's like completely game breaking because of the Rayquaza I have on screen. It's like all, like, in like every scene ever. Big problem when you can just get a level 70 immediately. But considering you don't have to win this fight is the big problem. And somebody tried saying, oh, well, you have to beat the fight. You ain't gonna win. Okay, listen here, Nat Dexter. You did not buy the game. You do not know that you can lose this fight and still go fucking go off in Dynamax Adventures. That is a you problem. You protested the game. You're the one with a lack of knowledge. That's a you problem, my man. Sorry, that was something I did see in the comment section. I know I'm being a little obnoxious about it, but come on, man. At least fact check shit first. Most of the encounters in the Glimwood Tangle. I'm gonna put this out now. That text still goes by a little too fast before you can read it. Again, this is a big issue that I had from just a friend reacting to this video. But like, damn it. This was a problem. I don't see how I did not notice how big of a problem that was going to be. I should have just did not have a transition. Because like, listen, the entire video just one frame to something completely different. I should have just had the text on that difference just for the entirety of this scene. And when, unless they just randomly roll on to being level 35 or lower. But are you really going to pick up one of these Pokemon? Regardless, when it switches to this is where the text should have ended. Also, why did that take so long? The Battle Tower. Again, the same unoriginal 7-win streak we've seen for years. Ah, yes, more Battle Tower slander. Listen, guys, if y'all ever make some kind of videos critical of, like, the Pokemon games, please, for the love of God, slander the Battle Tower. That shit just does not work. It is just... It's so bland. This is coming from somebody who plays Pokemon Battle Revolution a lot, which has so many, guess what, guys? 7 in a row battles. It's like, bro, you can call me a hypocrite for that, but at least each of those are unique. At least there's something different between those Colosseums. This is just, oh, it's the same as it was in the last game. Although technically it's not really a 7 in the win streak because the game's a little bit different this time around, and Sword and Shield, yeah. Sword and Shield's weird. It's different. The Battle Tower's a little bit odd here. Up next is the lead card. Oh, this lead card's funny. I made this and I'm just like, what's the biggest joke I can do? Yo, that's the one, guys. Also, I love that I was on that remastered Die Rise train during the time. I still have that shirt, by the way. Good stuff. Into the last part of the game. The story. I love how the last part of the game is just the story halfway through the video. And that's the thing, the story talk isn't even that long. Also, I might have to reuse this screen for Sun and Moon. Just a small chance. Big fight against Leon. And holy, what are those... Ah, yes, the level jump. What fun. There's the typo, by the way. Bance. I understand why they did this, right? Oh my god, you got a fucking Eternatus that slams through this Haxorus that breaks his fucking Charizard. And even Rillaboom. It's just like, bro, this fight is just... It just comes out of left field because you were going to be underleveled unless you sit here and is like some person that somebody had got into an argument with where like, oh, hey, I didn't grind. I just played the way the game was intended. I grinded out the max raid dens and got fucking all my Pokemon at level 80 before the second gym. Okay, you definitely grinded and you were overleveled the entire time because of your mistakes. That's never going to happen. And this battle just comes out of left field and is just like, bruh, what the fuck? Also, based Pelipper on screen. Also, I want to say, if somebody was to ask me what my most favorite Pokemon was that I used throughout all these videos, I think it might have to be the Wobbuffet in Sword and Shield. It's that or the Whiscash and Emerald. Definitely one of those two. Just a little bit of a nostalgia. Because, I mean, look at this. Regardless, you somehow managed to... Beautiful. I love that so much. Okay, I don't know if I should have used this example. Specifically the Revelation DLC for Fates. I really think I should have mentioned the smaller DLC maps because obviously it's like the same type of content rather than, oh hey, big ass branching story path. Yeah, that's a big difference and probably should have been used instead. Again, I did have this mentioned in the comment section. That was a bit of a problem on my part though. Again, this... There is no way you can read this in one go without pausing the game. There is no way you can do this in one watch of the video. Do not do this. It goes away so fast. Not to is the issue. Look at that. Making a few version exclusive stuff in Sword and Shield work for the DLC. 5 new regional variants. Okay. Okay, listen, I get the point, right? I was talking about putting mons on screen earlier in the video, right? Maybe they should have been a little bit smaller. These mans are not textured too well because the size is just a little a little large to have your Pokemon follow you in the overworld sections after unlocking. Hold on. This is funny. This is funny. I love this section of Pokemon following you. This is a middle finger to the people who loved this feature. When it provided nothing of value in yellow and heart gold, soul silver, it provided nothing. And this is the middle finger they get. It is so fucking funny. Large and can be an issue to see around. In the gameplay you're watching, my Rayquaza. Yes, Rayquaza just jumping in and out of the footage. This was a fun sight to behold. I was just thinking while I was playing this, yep, can't wait to add this to the script. But there's one big glaring issue, and if you've been watching the gameplay, you might have guessed what it is. Yes, the level curve. Thank you for showing Rayquaza at every possible chance that you've had in this entire video. The level curve was fucked the entire time through this gameplay. This Rayquaza did not level up once until like the 3rd gym. The fact that I purposely chose to use Rayquaza most of this entire game, it was intentional. But you can go do Dynamax adventures near immediately. Remember, do your research before calling someone stupid and thinking that you can't get through a battle reasonably. You know, especially in a game with fucking Wonder Trade. But hey, you know what? That's besides the point. Just do the research before this kind of shit happens. Oh, you can lose the battle and come break the entire game right now. Where's the part whatever? It's just the conclusion. The conclusion of what? Life. This is the conclusion. Are oddly the least fun games in the entire series. While the gameplay is good, imagine that. You can have a game that's not fun, but it can still be good. Breath of the Wild in a nutshell. Listen, I need to vent before giving. Oh, the rant! No! I forgot about the rant! Oh, that's why this section was so long. I forgot all about this. Listen, I gave people an option. I gave the Natdexers a chance to run and tuck their damn tails away as they fucking run in fear. Listen, dude, I was being generous. Here's your rant. I have not done a rant like this since. Maybe I should do one for Crystal. I love this text so much. Pokemon able to be used in these games. Like, look at this. The animation looks so much better, but they're like, no, they didn't fix the animations. They would never fix that. My bad. Double Kick is designed to look mediocre. It's designed to be the most simplistic shit ever. The particles look better. They improved the animation. That's how they fix the animation. They improve the particles. It's going to look like shit. That's the entire point. But here you see this and just... It looks fucking great. Trolls are nothing more than trolls. It's that simple. True, they are trolls, man. I love little gremlin people. And when you think about it, odds are they've never played an objectively terrible game before. Okay, I really think in this part of the rant, though, I should have, like, used better objectively bad games. Because somebody gave me shit about, like, the quality, the content of what made a bad game. I was just saying Sonic 06 without actually saying Sonic 06. I didn't say 06 when I should have. And you know what? That's on me. Dude, the visuals have always been a problem in Pokemon. Don't let people lie to you. Ever since Gen 6, it has looked bad. Gen 6 onwards has looked bad, alright? Even PLA looks like shit. Let's Go's like the one exception, but like the battles just don't look good. They were never going to be Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's a strong point that I will stand to. Because at the end of the day... yes, Dexit amounted to nothing. True! I love how I posted this right before SMT5, like right after the game dropped. I was just like, you know what? The game's just gonna be better. It's not Pokemon. There's no way it's not gonna suck. And you know what? I got lucky. We're talking about wanting better monster catching RPGs. They're both right here. Monster Sanctuary is also a game you can buy. Choose any of those three. Pokemon game. If you want a quote-unquote good monster catching RPG, there are better options on the Nintendo Switch. At the time of writing this, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are... I just love how thematically fitting the Chairman Rose battle music is for this. I'm sitting here going on a fucking rant, becoming the villain myself. And I just have that playing in the background. But I'm just like, yeah, dude, you know what? The leaks have already proven this game is not going to be the revolutionary piece of shit you've been waiting for. Oh my god, dude. BDSP pre-release was just insane. That was a different time. I miss it so much. They're still not out. However, it's going to be like last year and the year before. The Pokemon cycle, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I was hinting towards. It is technically real. It does exist to some people. That is all. Look at that. The Pokemon cycle just goes full force here. This is just the people who just find some random bullshit to nitpick about. Like, shut the fuck up and go outside. But yeah, Ice Cream, Unova bad, two-hand holding, no Battlefront. Remember when people were fucking ups in arms about Aura being bad for its lack of a battle frontier? They don't give a shit about that now. They don't give a fuck about it. Also, let's go. Everything about the game. True. Complaining about it. 4.9 out of 10. Bold as fuck putting that on. Wait a minute. Oh no. Oh no. Do not tell me. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh no. Where is it? Where is it? Archive. Hold on. No shot I did this. No shot. Oh fuck. I did it. Guys, I just pulled up my Ruby and Sapphire scripts and I thought I put them on the same score. But it turns out I put Sword and Shield 1 point higher. Oops. That was an accident. Oh my god, that was a fuck up and a half. Oh no. Oh guys, anyways, y'all should watch the gold and silver video. It's pretty fucking good. I've been here for 2 hours now. We can finally get on to the last video. But again, the overall quality of Sword and Shield was substantially higher than everything else so far. Again, minus the minor pacing issues of putting text on screen and getting rid of it immediately. What the fuck is this? Why is there an ad on here? Why is there an ad on my video? Listen, I don't think y'all seem to understand. My channel's not big enough yet to have advertising, alright? So why the hell am I getting an ad on this BDSP video? YouTube's just stealing money from me. I can't believe this. I am upset. I'm crying. Anyways, BDSP video. This was a big video for me. This one went in the algorithm and jacked my fucking channel numbers up like no one's business. Mega Swampert indeed, ladies and gentlemen. This video was extremely important. If you learned anything to this point, you need to know, if your videos are not good before you get thrown in the algorithm, you're going to get way less return you're going to get way less in return than if your videos were actually good. So the Diamond and Pearl video being bad and Platinum being very lackluster, and then Sword and Shield just being pretty good, that's a fucking bad track record for viewer retainment. They're like, oh hey, maybe this content creator is good. One successful video. Hey, I like BDSP. Fuck it, dude. All right, the next video they go have to click on is Diamond and Pearl or Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and then the video just sucks and it's just like, yep, of fucking course. Don't subscribe. You lose yourself a lot of potential numbers. Remember, guys, the most important part is getting yourself a backlog before that happens, but that backlog being good. That's the important part. If I had better videos out before that happened, I could be at 1,000 already, man. That's all the fuck I'm saying. When you think of a remake in Pokemon, what comes to mind? Also, the audio, the voice sounds a little bit better than the other videos, but like, it's still not the greatest. New locations, a more polished experience, more... nice mic. Yeah, you see this little dumb thing I put in front of my mic? That thing's been helpful for making it not do that little wind effect sound. Oh, that's something that's bothered me for a while. These games set out to be a faithful remake of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. And of course, that somehow led to controversy despite these games being the community's most anticipated game since the inception of the series. You ever ask for something so much that you finally get it and it comes back and it's shit? The problem was, I really feel like it just came down to, hey, we keep begging for this thing to happen. Please, for the love of God, Sinnoh was so good. Everybody made it blow up to be the biggest game release of all fucking time. So when the Game Freak sat down at the Pokemon Company, sorry. When they sat down and were giving ILCA their fucking goals, they're like, hey, be faithful. People think this is the best game. No, Platinum's right there. Also not the best game either. But the fact they just ignore Platinum's existence just because there's like, I don't have the image, but I saw a damn poll. It's like best like Nintendo games, and Diamond and Pearl was the best rated Pokemon game. Fucking how? Further ado, your timestamps are on screen. What the hell happened here? Okay, So I have 4 timestamps, okay, on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you know what? That's fine, but like, I hit the enter key after the final verdict time. Like, there is like a whole extra line where timestamp should be. How did I not notice that? What is this? What happened? Oh, I forgot to put the fucking outro on. No! Oh no, I didn't put the ouch. And this was a video that got blown up into the algorithm by the Again, this is the kind of rookie mistake people will notice when watching your channel for the very first time. You forgot an entire timestamp. How? Also, great way to get people interested in a video. Put the thing they want to see on screen immediately. They want to see the girl they're going to simp over. Put Cynthia on screen. The best and fastest section to cover first will... Again! The story should not be first! And this is why my channel did not go as far as it should have. Why the fuck did I start with the story changes? Why in God's green earth did I start with the story changes? This is just abominable. This should just not be allowed. Why the fuck did I start with this? I regret so much watching. I regret making this video you're watching right now because I'm learning new stuff that I did not know before. Like forgetting a timestamp. Not knowing that I started with the fucking story changes in this video. Well, let's discuss the gameplay changes and see if the horrible progression's been tweaked at all. Spoiler alert! No, they did not fix the game progression! Also, based Pelipper, much less improved. So, let's talk about the main game playthrough and just the game as a whole. So, the big elephant in the room consists of an issue being abolished since Generation 7, being VHMs, as they've always been a major part of navigating the region and limiting the game's progression. And thankfully this time around, HMs were adjusted to not be an issue. Now, on one hand, the HMs are still required as they're blocking off the field and work in that same regard that they used to. Similarly, each HM is unlocked in the same place you find their TM in the overworld. But there's a catch here, and that is that you don't have to have a Pokemon in your party know these HMs to use them in the overworld. Sadly, there's an issue that arises with this TM-HM change, but we'll talk about this later. Other than that big change in navigation, we have to talk about the movement. So as this is a game to release... Oh god, the movement. I'm gonna show it off right now. Oh god, the soft locked. Oh no. This right here, this ledge, and the one in Mount Cornet, this one right here. This is garbage. The great movement does not work. You can just, if you play the game normally, you are going to walk off that 100% of the time. You are never going to hold right being like, yeah, dude, I'm definitely going to go, just not jump off it because I'm holding slightly to a different direction while holding down. Because, you know, that doesn't force you off the damn ledge. Even though you're going down. I hate it. I hate this game's movement so much. The bike isn't like it was in Sword and Shield, where you could ride it across the water. So, okay, one thing I should have mentioned, well, should not have mentioned, is the bike and Sword and Shield comparison. That was a mistake. I don't think that was really necessary. Oh, why did I even make that? That's just so irrelevant. Nobody mentioned that in the comment section, but... like, there's no reason to have it mentioned at all. Most of Diamond and Pearl's region layout is intact. In fact, it's a one-to-one recreation of what those games had. Just think about that. A one-to-one recreation of one of the most obnoxious regions to ever exist. How fucking exciting. Oh wait, but the Hell Park, or the Ramanas Park, shut the hell up. Or a Drifloon. And this is just a small example. God, this game's release was fucked, man. Here's the thing. Nobody's gonna be stupid enough in a gym to deliberately fail a math puzzle just to go accidentally stumble across the only trainer in the game with a fucking Drifloon. Oh wait, but how is it that bad that it released on the release day or whatever? That's because it released on a Friday, the day Drifloon's supposed to spawn in the map. So if you did Valley Windworks immediately, you know, the day the game released, you had to wait until the next Friday until you would see Drifloon spawn. So unless you stumbled across that one random trainer, you were essentially fucked on the post-game until the next Friday, or you fucked the time, like I did, because I was tired of fucking waiting and just wanted to play the game. Not even all of them are able to be evolved fully. For example, Pokemon like Dusknoir, Rhyperior, and Gliscor just... Oh, dude. This section got me nostalgic, man. Okay, though, straight up, I remember like release week or like the first 2 weeks. Fun fact, in his Discord server, Mystic Umbreon was actually looking to use a Gliscor on his team. And because he was playing on Shining Pearl, so I gave him the hookup for a Gligar, right? But he didn't get to, if I recall correctly, he didn't even use the damn thing on his team because the item to evolve him was locked in the post game. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell was this game's problem? Just, you added items to the underground, like the Lucky Egg and whatnot. Why didn't they just put the evolution items down there? Like, what the hell? Okay, I just want to give this a little shout, though. Despite the fact that text does last a little bit longer than the text in Sword and Shield did. At least that's a thing. You had more time to at least get the idea of what was being said, mainly because the images on screen, at least showing you what the items were, and it's like, oh wait, this is just a continuation of what I just saw. Good on me, alright. But again, it still goes a little too fast. Okay, another little small thing to mention is when I was actually team building for the my second run of this for the video. Because, you know, unlike PLA, I actually did 2 runs of this game. My team was actually a little fun to build, because I actually reused, like, most of the mods from my Platinum video, just straight up. Like, everything besides, like, the starter was the same. I mean, yeah, I had Licky Licky temporarily in Platinum, but, like, he's back. Yeah, just reference my video on Diamond and Pearl if you want the gym leader in Elite 4. Oh my god, dude. Most people... Also, love that iCard again. Most people did not remember the time when the view counts were this low on these videos, man. They do not remember. I mean, of course, there's some people watching this video now that don't even remember the fucking name change, but that's besides the point. Look at how good Sword and Shield was unironically popping off a bit, just in comparison to everything else. And, like, that was what got me a little bit pushed for the algorithm, and then just drop this. It's like, oh, new game, decently sized video. And it's just like, here's an algorithm, have fun. As their Pokemon have a cracked amount of EVs and IVs on their Pokemon with beneficial natures that can rapidly increase the difficulty when otherwise slow Pokemon can outspeed your entire team. But oh yeah, dude, that was not okay. Like, y'all just saw that footage. There was no reason for that Golem to have so much stat investment to outspeed my Pelipper, dude. Like, what the fuck was that? That reminds me of the fact I haven't talked about the difficulty of these games, which, fun fact, are harder than quite a lot of the games in the series. Okay, this was a wee bit misleading. I should said that for the end game specifically, well, mainly just the boss fights in general. But, like, it's kind of true. Like, the Elite Four is fucking annoying. I saw so many people on Reddit actually just struggling so hard with this game's Elite Four. Just because competitive movesets and whatnot. But like, what the hell were they doing? Now, some smooth brain might be typing in the comments that the EXP share is on. Oh, that's not how you do a video, boys. You don't call someone a fucking smooth brain. Oh, no. By default, it can't be turned off. Well, it's crazy how the EXP share, which was... I love how I was doing a bit and just copy from source. Fucked that up. Just typos. That so badly. That troll comment's fucking fantastic. That was great. Listen, I sit here and struggle now with like comedy in my videos, but like that right there was some peak comedy. But you should not be sitting here referring to people as smooth brains just for mentioning the damn EXP system. Okay, I will say, it was smart of me to just throw this in here. Be like, oh hey, you complaining about the friendship mechanic? Here's a small solution that they don't tell you in game. That shit should have never been forced, but like, oh my lord. Conditions or just the extra it stayed on screen for a while. EXP gain is now forced. You had time to read it on the player via a merge. Good on me. The Pokemon following you mechanic is back, and just like in Sword and Shield. Yeah, this mechanic still has nothing to the game, but that's just funny. I just pushed my man on that little bike slope and he just got stuck. New gameplay edition, and this is... Oh no! One of my biggest mistakes is about to appear on screen. The save data backup. So basically pressing up B and X on the main menu will allow you to access the save data backup, which is your previous save file. I should have chosen my words carefully. Look at this shit. Look at this. Hold on. Look at that. Oh my god. I should have reworded this shit so much. Been like, hey, it's like this, right, as I'm saying, but also it's not 100% accurate. Also, didn't. Oh my fucking god. There's still not a pinned message about this, by the way. Nobody's found out how this actually works. That's fun to see. I'm so glad that this is still here. Don't do something like this. Listen, some people will appreciate the honesty, but this is just not it. If you didn't click off at this point in the video, I don't know when you clicked off. Multiple save files can be held. Okay, I thought that was in the Sword and Shield video, but it turns out I was wrong. Marking Origami King as a bad game your Switch can hold, but on the top was just a funny decision. I thought, hey, you know what? Technically it is. Listen, it's an opinion, but it's one backed by a lot of facts, alright? I ain't about to have this shit. I think one person called me out, and you know what? Good on them. At the end of the gameplay refinements and changes. So, something I forgot to... Oh yeah, I remember being one complete and utter annoying person. Person in the world, shiny, drowsy, and BDSP. Gotta make sure you get some screen time, boys. Oh no, what was that? Like all 4 sets of the starter. Oh my god, look at that distance. I should not be getting forced into that battle. Excuse you? What is this? Like, who programmed this fucking game on release? So, going back up to the main part of the region, let's get the annoying one out of the way. The battle tower. It's the same 7 unoriginal battles in a row. Just like I said in Emerald, except in Emerald, I made it even more just annoyed. Oh, dude. I can't wait to talk about this shit in Crystal, because I am just gonna scream at the mic. I'm sorry, it's just about to happen. I've slowly raised my voice with time, but the battle tower has reached a point. The bugs and glitches. Oh, I debated including this. I don't know if the next game's gonna be glitchy or not, but if it is, I don't know if I even want to include a glitch section. I'm not really one to enjoy, like, dating videos with shit like this. But, like, it's a shame how, like, they went out of the way to ruin the game. Like, the game was way better with all the glitches and shit. Way more entertaining. The speedrunning scene was fucking insane. Also, speaking of things, I had this little questioning. So, like, in the Romanus Park section, I didn't show the Giratina fight. Because, like, I was like, that's a cool thing. That's a fun little thing I don't really want to spoil. Like, it's the problem. Like, I want to include it because it's sick, right? But do I even mention it? Because, like, I don't want to ruin the experience for someone else by showing them the cool thing. That's probably, like, I want to make a review video on Fire Emblem Three Houses at some point. But, like, I want to do a spoiler-free and a non-spoiler version. That's the problem. Well, spoiler and a spoiler-free version. Yeah, that. English. That kind of stuff dates the video by not having it sometimes when you're purposely trying to avoid it. Again, I didn't show the Arceus fight in PLA. No, the Volo fight was actually something I didn't show off till, like, the story section, just straight up. But the Arceus fight I didn't show at all. It's like, you would think I didn't show it because, oh, spoiler this, spoiler that. But no. I don't know why I'm talking about this now, but skill issue. I did not want to complete the Pokedex. Fuck that shit. Without Pokemon Home, you are not catching me completing that Pokedex. It's fuck Spiritomb. I like to be against it, but like, hell, dude. Where does the line get drawn? But as this new update came out, I was half tempted to scrap the whole thing. But yeah, probably could have scrapped the whole thing. But honestly, I think the video's better off it just having this little graveyard for dead glitches. I think it works. They were made as faithful remakes of a set of D-tier games. Fucking true, they are D-tier. Yeah, you know, it kind of looks a little weird having, like, the Hall of Fame section just playing and just having some random rambling going on. I always feel like it's just nice to have, like, the memories of, like, the whole run just in the game, just playing in the background, you know? Like, look how fun my team was. Look how great they look. It's kind of annoying when I'm, like, trying to edit, like when I was going through Gold and Silver, for instance. And then when I go to Crystal, and it's going to be short as shit because I'm only going to use one Mon. But when I get to Gold and Silver, it's just like, yeah, dude, gotta figure out where I'm putting these 3 Mons. Fire Red and Leaf Green. Gotta figure out where, I'm editing the whole 6 Mon Hall of Fame. Sword and Shield didn't even fucking have one. So there was that, but, like, I like including all these. It's cool, but, like, it's kind of rough to figure out where it needs to go exactly, especially depending on the length. Pokemon Platinum, do not invest in these games. fucking true. If you have Diamond and Pearl, you might not even want to consider. No, I should have said hard no as well. Like, you've already played the exact same game. Like, if you're going to replay Diamond and Pearl, different story. But if you've already played it and you don't want to play it ever again, then why the fuck would you touch this game again? But, yes, the epilogue, yo. Goals moving to 2022. Let's see how far I've gotten so far. Tell you that this will be the last review style content for the year. Well, no shit. Dude, okay, when I put this video out, the first thing I did immediately was just like, hey, I'm gonna work on Let's Go. I'm gonna work on Pokemon Battle Revolution. I immediately went hard on both videos at the same time. One was a passion project, and the next was the next mainline game, so it helped. But, you know what? It was pretty nice, man. I didn't know the video was going to take off in the algorithm. When we get to the next video like this, we're going to be talking about, like, Let's Go and maybe PLA. I don't know. I don't know if PLA is even going to be in it. But Let's Go specifically was an after effect of the algorithm. That video did substantially better than it should have. Just because, hey, the video, like, my channel was already in the algorithm, right? Like, I keep talking about the algorithm this, right? Let's Go should not have done as well as it did as a video, but it did because, yeah, it was on one hell of a drug that was not even its own fault. Do an Eevee. True! However, the next video is our December Q&A video. No, sir. That December Q&A did not release on time. I will say that right now. That shit released alongside Battle Revolution, actually. Bit of misinformation, but you know what? It worked. That's the thing. When I saw how well the video was doing the algorithm, I just said, delay it. Wait, no, I wasn't even right about Gen 5 either. Oh, no. Like, I was right about the April 2022 thing, but I was wrong about Gen 5 coming after Battle Revolution. Because they went Battle Revolution, Red and Blue, and then PLA, then Gen 5. I had zero intentions on actually talking about PLA straight up. I just said, it's free content. You know, the algorithm this, algorithm that. People probably want to see it. So if you want in, drop a comment down below in the comment section before December 27th, and I'll do my best to include it. Oh, leave a comment in the comments. You know what the sucky part is? I think somebody, or like 2 or 3 people actually left comments in that comment section, and I forgot that I even had this section, and I think I just straight up answered the fucking question in the comments. I didn't even have any YouTube comments in the Q&A video. Sin! And I'll do my best to include it. Peace out, you alpha males, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Okay, so I had to do a quick check. Yes, my audio was, like, my mic was absolutely kind of beans the entire time. All 4 of these videos, the mic kind of sucked. Just straight up. I had to make sure it wasn't my headphones, but yeah, it's bad. It's a shame that was never something that got fixed. The BDSP video was definitely peak at the time, just in terms of editing and whatnot. And like, I'm sitting here like, oh, Gold and Silver is my best video yet, and I'm just like, it's probably gonna stay that way. There's only so much better you can get with the editing that, like, really just comes down to being like, oh, will Crystal really be better? Probably not. It won't be as funny. But hey, you know what? I've done my part. We've been here for a while. Oh my gosh, I've been sitting here for 3 hours reacting. Help. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if there's anything you can take away from this, don't be lazy with your original content. Do not ever, because you will regret it. Because, like, listen, I can't go back and make a new BDSP or Sword and Shield review. Like, I can't just edit these. I have to do a new one if I ever want to see them be better. That is a huge issue. I already planned on doing Diamond, Pearl, and Heart Gold, Soul Silver again just because of a lot of factors. But, like, I won't have a chance to, and if I do, it's just like, oh, can't use this sick thumbnail again. And, like, it also prematurely fucked me in the algorithm because, like, oh, the other videos didn't do as well, right? Like, I keep mentioning the algorithm. I'm not trying to sit here and just, like, oh, gloat about it, yada yada. It's like, that's a problem, man. Your channel ain't gonna do too well if it doesn't blow up in the fucking algorithm because all the other content you had. Like, the BDSP video set up a big chain reaction to my older content, just straight up. Like, those viewer counts are significantly higher than they were otherwise. Like, look at this. You look at my newer ones since the algorithm happened. Look at this. Let's Go good. Like, all of these, you know, the actual, the actual content, all right? Heart Gold, Soul Silver, 6.5, 3.9, 4.1, 6.2K. Mainly because Sword and Shield was still relevant. Let's Go did phenomenal on release, which helped it a fuck ton. We're gonna talk about that next time. And it's just like, look how good that did. Like, look at my views now. Like, Emerald did surprisingly well with the context of everything else up to this point. But look at this. Not even 100 on a spinoff. Meanwhile, this spinoff gets 3.2K just because of the after effects. Fucking-sane how that worked out. Just remember, guys, the algorithm will do a lot of work for you. I'm thankful for like all the support that I've gotten over like the last year, but like, shit, man, there's a lot of things I wish I could have done differently. But ladies and gentlemen, oh god, I had to purge the channel. I hope y'all are ready for a return to content. Kind of forgot, like, I didn't forget the channel existed, but like, yeah, I didn't like have much of a direction for a while. Hey, if something interests me, I'll talk about it. Why not? I pretty much just threw so much shit out. Look at this. So much is gone. If you liked this video, leave a like. Hopefully you learned something. Listen, this video mainly just served to be a follow-up to this one right here. Oh, this was an experience. But it basically is just this 2.0. It's the same idea, but like more. Maybe we'll do more in the future. Who knows? I'm down to react to more of my own shit and just point out everything wrong or some of the fun little behind-the-scenes things. With that said, thank you guys for watching. And I will hopefully see you on the next one or something.